Last week, we celebrated a few huge milestones: the course launch, a gym PR, and some financial wins 5.5 years in the making. But those moments don't happen by accident. They happened because we started living like the people we said we wanted to become. Today, we're talking about what that actually looks like, how to fuel your life the way your future self deserves. This isn't another diet talk. It's about using food as fuel, building awareness around your choices, and connecting what you eat to who you are becoming.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cheese, Curds, and Coffee. My name is Alan Thompson, and I am joined by the multi-talented, superfragilesexpialidocious,
Mary Poppins!
magical, mystical, spectacular wife, Katie Thompson. How are you?
I'm good. I'm cold though.
It is cold in Florida.
Yes. Ugh, this is not okay. We did not move here for it to be in the 30s.
You're from Green Bay.
I haven't lived in Green Bay for 11 years.
So
No,
it's
more than that. I moved here from Chicago and then Boston and then Green Bay.
Chicago, Boston.
They're cold too.
Oh, man. It is chilly. It is chilly. All right, so episode 13. Excited to be here.
Lucky number 13 or unlucky number 13?
Episode number 13, lucky number 13, Fueling the Future You, title of this episode. So, last week, we celebrated some milestones, which is super cool. Your Snatch PR, personal best.
I have watched that reel probably 160 times.
I didn't
Like,
realize.
if I got credit for the number of times I watched it on social media.
It popped up on my Facebook page today. And I didn't realize there was a slow motion version that you put out there.
It's tricky.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. So congrats again on that. Financial wins.
Love it. Love to see it.
Took a while, but we made it. And we're still there despite the topsy-turvy nature of the market. And we launched our course.
Heck yes, we did.
Which is super exciting. And I had a fantastic conversation today with one of our newest members because she's a part of the Facebook group now too. And just blown away by the progress she's making and the conversation we're having and all the excitement she's experiencing. So it's really cool to watch and see.
And the fact that this is a go at your own pace course means anybody can start at any time.
100%.
So this isn't like we touched on the fact that we were launching and like we had this, kind of lead up in November 3rd and it's going to, we're going to drop it. But the really cool thing is that it's available to anyone who wants to participate. And because it is all done online, there's video tutorials, you get homework assignments and worksheets that go along with the content. And super excited to be able to work with people at various phases. And so as we get more and more people enrolled in the program, those conversations are just going to get juicier and deeper. And you can, kind of lean on some of the other folks that are participating to really feel like you're part of a community, even though you're doing something, maybe on your own, online, in the comfort of your home or car or office.
Yeah, and it's interesting to sort of, watch from afar, watch from the outside what I kind of went through. So lesson one was all about, awareness and talking about the messages that are all around us and how they can inform our thoughts and how those thoughts then become beliefs that we internalize, and then those beliefs can turn into actions. And a lot of the conversation today that we were having about this was like just raising the awareness level of the messages that are around us, which I think is like once you ring that bell, it's hard to turn off. Now, it's also interesting. Like for me, it happened like over time, right? Like it was like, oh, I read this book and I tried to apply the lessons, and then I would notice this particular thing or this particular thing, and or I became aware of, like, not just from a nutrition standpoint or a fitness standpoint, but from a financial standpoint, these different messages were trying to tell me different things. And then I know when we met, I was in full blown, like, I don't do holidays, and this is like capitalism at its worst, and da 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 da. You probably like, who is this
I love
person?
holidays. I love gift giving. I love
I
buying
know,
things
I
for
know, I
people
know.
and spending money.
So, for me, it was like a gradual sort of awakening or becoming aware of all the stuff that was around us and how it impacted me personally. So when I presented that to you, or when it started happening for you, what was that like?
For me, I've worked in sales and marketing
Yes.
for so long that it was my job to create a story and to set urgency and help people understand why the thing I was trying to sell was going to solve the problem that they needed to fix for that moment or that period of time. When I worked for travel companies, right? Like we were celebrating a whole bunch of things. When I worked in the restaurant business, there was a ton of marketing and sales tactics around celebratory events, right? I worked for a national restaurant group. We had over 100 restaurants across the United States, and we sold banquets and catering packages
Yeah.
to people all over the place. And some of our biggest, orders were for work parties or for major family holidays because people gather around food. And I knew, like, you're pointing out to me, like, the marketers are trying to get you to buy these things, and I'm going, yes, I'm the marketer and the salesperson trying to get you to buy the pasta. And yes, I want to have you come celebrate this momentous occasion, whether that's a christening or a wedding or a baptism or a, I don't know, birthday, anniversary, family reunion, whatever the function is. We can do it with pasta. We can do it with some type of party. So was I surprised that messages infiltrate, your buying decisions? Absolutely not. I made a career out of making sure that I helped people on that path. And now I'm looking at things from a totally different perspective, right? Now I want you to make the decision that is the most in line with your future goals and the most in line with what your health and wellness needs to be to get you to whatever those things are that you want to accomplish in life. And so the messaging that we share now may or may not be different than, like, hey, let's celebrate the anniversary with a bunch of pasta. It might. Maybe you're carb loading before you go run a 5K or a half
Right.
marathon or a marathon the next day. And that's a perfect opportunity for you to fuel your race with appropriate nutrition to do the thing you want to do.
And I think for me, that was the tipping point. Like when we met, I was more of I would describe myself probably as an absolutist. Like I had made a bunch of bad decisions, wrapped up in this, I don't know, rat race, climb the ladder, keep up with the Joneses, all the cliches, and never really put any thought into how I ate, my commitment to fitness and exercise, or how I spent my money. And it wasn't until, and this took a while, but you helped me see that, like, it's not about excluding everything or trying to shield yourself from salespeople or marketing and this, that, and the other thing. But it's more about identifying those things that can help you achieve what you're trying to achieve, that's going to help you achieve your future self and to get where you want to go to. And so if I want to be the person who travels and enjoys vacations and gets to see the world and experience those things with you, then I can't be an absolutist on everything from shoes and clothes and travel and hotel stays and blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. So the future version of yourself really kind of came into focus when we sat down and talked about our future together, which is really cool.
And so, here we are.
Here we are. Here we are. So when we think about that shift that I think both of us went through, just a little different versions of it, I suppose. How did that impact for you how you thought about food and how you ate?
Well, I thought I knew what eating healthy or living well meant, right? Like if I go back to health classes in middle school, it was the food pyramid, and I needed to eat all the vegetables and fruit and get my nutrients, and don't eat red meat, and don't eat too many carbs, and don't eat a bunch of candy, and all this stuff. So whenever I was in my, I'm going to go on this path to lose X amount of weight, or I want to fit into this dress, or I've got this event coming up and I want to do something to make my body look different, quick fix style yo-yo dieting, I would eat salads, a lot of lettuce with like no protein in it.
Just a bowl of lettuce.
Well, I put some other vegetables in there,
right.
Probably some peppers, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like it wasn't a well-balanced meal because there was probably no protein in it.
Right.
The likelihood that I had chicken in this salad or some type of fish or anything was pretty slim. I went for some type of fat-free salad dressing, which then meant there was a whole bunch of other things in it. And now I'm getting no good fats, I'm getting no protein, and I'm just eating something that's making me feel full because I can eat a large volume of a bunch of vegetables, but I have no energy after I'm eating that, right? So like now I'm not sleeping well. That was like a dinner for me. That wasn't a lunch. Lunch might have been a skipped meal because now we're trying to, make sure that we're in a caloric deficit, and I'm not very active at this phase, and more sedentary means I'm not requiring, I guess, as much from an energy standpoint. But breakfast was never high in protein. I love me some bagels with cream cheese. So I would go like fat-free cream cheese on a multigrain bagel, or, whatever, coffee with some type of sugar-free syrup in it so it tasted good, and maybe some skim milk. But yeah, if I actually broke down what I know now about how to fuel my body, and that my plate needs to have balanced macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, protein, and that will help keep me fuller longer, that will actually help my brain function improve. I knew none of that.
No.
I'm sure they told me something along those lines when I was in school as a kid, but
Sure.
I didn't retain the information. It wasn't relevant to me at that moment. And as a result, I had crap sleep. I was still drinking a lot, right? Liquid calories for me. So I may be in a quote unquote caloric deficit. I also had the misconception that like I'm drinking a vodka soda, there's no calories.
Right.
Psych.
Yeah. Interesting journey for me, like for the vast parts of my life. Large portions of it, I didn't really give two thoughts about what I was eating or how I was eating, because I was always able to lose the weight or get back into a place where I could work out for a while, lose the weight. So I thought in my mind I could maybe outwork a bad diet or bad food choices, whatever you want to call it. But I wasn't I wasn't spectacularly specific about how I ate, what I ate, and for what reasons. Um, and then from a completely different standpoint, like from a financial and more practical standpoint, because I only knew how to cook like 3, 4 things really well. So I got into meal prepping, and like I said, it was helping my financial situation, and it was easy. So I didn't have to think about it. So that decision fatigue was gone. I knew I was having for lunch. I knew I was having for breakfast. I knew I was having for dinner. And then I would go out on the weekends and eat and drink and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, I would even say it was only really a couple years ago, uh, and even more recently when I ended up, being dehydrated and having to go into the emergency room for a mild rhabdo, I think she called it, where I really started taking into account like making sure I get all my fiber in and make sure I'm not eating exclusively processed foods and getting more whole foods. So that's been a couple of years. It's been a few years as refined. I've been refining it for the last 2 years, and now it's been really coming into shape. Since May, I guess, where I get my regular servings of fruit and veggies and trying to minimize the protein bars and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, thinking about food as fuel is challenging because we get so many messages that tell us that food is our therapist and food is our best friend and food is our celebration tool and food is our how we mourn, and food is what we do when we're anxious, and food is what we do when we're bored, and food is what we do, fill in the blank, when you're watching a movie, when you're playing a video game, when you're, I don't know. Food is like this, like, grand solution.
Yeah, we've created a habit loop that our body just does the thing without even thinking about it. So the snacking in front of the TV is so transparently easy to fall victim to. Like you are going through the action and you are doing the thing without your body or your brain even processing the fact that you are consuming more food. And it is not a hunger craving that you are feeding. It is not anything to do with I need to, fuel before I go to bed because I've got a big race tomorrow and I need to make sure that I've got my glycogen stores, as packed as they can be to give me that energy boost when I need it for that workout or that marathon. Like, it is purely because we have created this loop and our body goes into autopilot.
100%. We were sitting around the other night and they played the Monday Night Football theme song. And they were showing like old clips from like the 90s of the Packers versus the Eagles. And I was like, man, that song just brings back so many memories. And like the connection in my brain between football and food is diabolical. Like, it is crazy. Like, I see it. I'm pretty sure I saw that commercial and I immediately thought about chicken wings and beer. Like, instantaneous. Yeah. Because it is so ingrained in my brain that like that Monday night, like that theme song. Oh man, we're doing Monday Night Football. Well, we gotta have chicken wings. Beer. We gotta have beer. We gotta have ranch dressing. Lego.
We didn't, by the way, after the music played.
I went to bed.
He did go to bed. We did not have beer and wings on Monday night at 8:30 in the evening.
And so that leads me to the idea that like I had to unlearn that these programmed or messaged stimulus that that we get sent doesn't automatically go get food. And I think I told the story about my Fridays and Chinese food like the simple fact that it was the end of the week triggered, the desire to go get Chinese food to celebrate.
Yeah.
Or Japanese food to celebrate. So, what about you? What did you have to sort of unlearn as you were going along this journey about food as fuel and the contrary to what we were been told?
Well, for me, carbs are bad,
Oh,
right? Like that whole idea of
evil carbs.
yeah. Yeah, I eat so many carbs now, and they are great, and I need them.
They've always been great.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm Irish.
Yes.
We've touched on that.
Yeah.
And my potato farmer family ancestors that came over from Ireland, thank you for being potato farmers, because I love me some potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I love baked potatoes. I love boiled potatoes. I love fried potatoes. All forms of potato: sweet potato, red potato, russet potato, you name it. I love me some potato. And the best part about fueling your body instead of thinking about things of like a crash diet, and when you live a healthy lifestyle, you can eat those things. You just need to eat the right quantities of them and have them at the right time. And we eat a lot of rice in our house. When I talked about what my dinners used to look like, it was a lot of lettuce, maybe some crusty bread with some, olive oil, but that was on like a special occasion. And now it is a staple. I need to make sure that I eat carbohydrates with nearly every meal. It is a
Yeah,
very
so good.
rare occasion that I don't have carbs in a meal.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So one of the sort of things or tricks, habits, techniques that we talk about in lesson 2, we're in the middle of filming the lesson 2. Lesson 2 is written, and now we're just filming the videos that go into the course. But one of the things we talked about was taking a pause when you get that message or that thought comes up where, hey, I'm supposed to eat this now, or hey, it's Monday Night Football. And I don't know if, I guess it was a long pause because after the Monday Night Football theme song, I got up and went to bed. So the message no longer works for me to translate into the behavior of getting food. But this idea of a pause, and we kind of centered on like 3 minutes whenever you have to make a decision that is like, am I going to do the thing or am I not going to do the thing? And think about what would your future self say, or how would your future self see this decision that you're about to make. So anytime you're faced with a decision on what to do, should I eat the thing? Should I go out to eat? Blah, blah, blah. Take 3 minutes and write down your reasons and what you're thinking about and why it's happening and why is it coming up for you. And I did this the other day. It wasn't food related. It was
Whether or not you were going to go work out. It
Whether-
was 3:00 in the morning or 3:30
oh yeah,
or something like that in the morning.
I posted that.
Uh-huh.
So it was 3:30 in the morning, and not to say I brag about getting up early or whatever, but I have to be in the office by 6. So to get my run-ins, I got to get up pretty early to do that. And I got up early that morning, and I was like, man, I don't feel like I feel like going back to bed. And I just literally started typing out the reasons.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for my phone to see if
It's
I had
in the
it.
kitchen.
But I started typing out the reasons on why I was going to get up and go for this run. And it was like real. And it was like, and one of them was like, I'm a runner.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do. I'm going to feel really good after I'm done checking this off of the day's to-do list. And it worked. And I got up and I went for the run and had a good day, or had a good run and had a good morning and had a good day as a result. And it was fantastic. And so, yeah, I mean, it's one of those sort of things that works for me.
It's interesting to think about, too, the time domain of 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment, if we're thinking about food, right? Like I'm getting a craving. I want a piece of chocolate. 3 minutes feels like an eternity if I'm literally like, do I eat the Kit Kat or do I not eat the Kit Kat? But relative to how much time there is in a day,
Yeah.
3 minutes is nothing. So to actually just take and you owe it to yourself. The answer might be go eat the Kit Kat. That's okay. But give yourself time to decide, am I doing this because I'm bored? Am I doing this because this is my habit, right? My afternoon break is I get up from my desk, I go for a walk down the hallway, I stop by ABC coworker, I chat for 2 minutes, she has candy at her desk, and I eat the candy while I talk to her. Like maybe it's just that habit loop that Monday Night Football music plays and now I want a beer. My 2 o'clock afternoon get up and walk and stretch my legs turns into get up, walk, stretch my legs, and eat a candy bar at, Josie's desk.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can change that behavior if we sit and think about why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a piece of gum in the mouth before you go to Josie's desk, or you grab a drink of water and you're holding onto your water bottle while you're chit-chatting instead, right? What are the things that future me needs for me to accomplish whatever the goals are? And some of the time it's like I need a quick sugar rush. Like I have no energy. My brain power is exhausted and I've got this big project to wrap up before the end of the day. And I actually need to get some sugar in me to be able to get it done. Mm-hmm. Eat the candy bar, like get the job done, give your body the fuel that it needs, and then go on with your business.
Yeah.
But 3 minutes is not too much time.
Yeah.
It's just enough.
So tonight, I come home from the gym. Katie's busy working on a proposal that she needs to send out to a potential client for the gym. And I come home and I had my mind set up on what I was going to eat for dinner, which was a Fit Life Foods meal. I get home and I realize that no rice, that we had run out of rice. I had eaten the last of the rice, I think. And I was like, what am I going to have for dinner? And I had thought about, so we have some frozen pizza. We have some frozen fish. I thought about getting in my car and going back out to go grab something to eat, like fast food. And I said, nope, I've had a good day. I got up and ran, I got up and ran this afternoon. I did my 4 miles. I lifted a little bit. So from a caloric burn standpoint, I was on pace to hit all my goals, hit all the metrics for the day. And so here I was at the end of the day, having to make that choice. What do I do? And I remember there was a can of soup in the cupboard. So I grabbed the can of soup, had some protein and some chicken nuggets, and random dinner
of
champions. But I'm proud of myself because I took the time to make an informed decision. I didn't jump in the car and head out to grab some fast food. I thought about it for 2.5 minutes, like 3 minutes. But just taking that pause is really powerful. I looked up this quote from Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, which is a fantastic book. And he says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So take a pause. Take a pause. I love that. Good book. Good book. So one of my favorite parts of this lesson 2 is starting to craft your reasons list. Jim Rohn famously said, we're all smart enough to achieve our goals. We just don't have enough reasons to, or to paraphrase. And one of my favorite parts of this lesson is that we've done a bunch of homework assignments, we've done some exercises, and now we are starting to build that reasons list that you can pull out at 3:30 in the morning when you're trying to decide to go for a run, or you can pull out at the refrigerator as you're trying to figure out what to have for dinner. Um, and it's funny because like I even think it's something that you talk about in the gym all the time. With a workout, there's going to be a point in the workout where you're going to ask yourself, "Why am I doing this?"
Yeah, yesterday,
Yesterday,
speaking of,
yes.
yesterday was Veterans Day,
Mm-hmm.
and the CrossFit community, and I think beyond CrossFit at this
Yep.
stage, has kind of adopted the idea of doing a hero workout called Chad 1000X on Veterans Day. There was a service member, Chad Wilkinson. He passed away, committed suicide, and his wife, who happens to be a flow master for CrossFit, avid CrossFit, enthusiast and very much connected to the CrossFit community, wanted to help honor her husband, but also create a foundation and way in which she could help create awareness around mental illness and the struggles that our veterans have. And so her husband used to do this workout, 1,000 box step ups, for training. And he would wear his ruck pack and do this while he was still alive and very much training as a service member. And now this workout is 1,000 box step ups. If you do it as prescribed, women wear 35 pounds or carry 35 pounds, men wear 45 pounds or carry 45 pounds. And the box height is 20 inches. And you just step up and down with this weight for 1,000 reps. And most people, it takes more than an hour. Some people it takes an hour and a half. Some people it takes upwards of almost 2 hours to get through this. And so just doing one repeated motion over and over and over, right, you really get into that mental headspace of, why am I doing this? And, we encourage, especially on days like that in our gym, for our community to really remember why we're doing this and remind yourself that, you have the physical capabilities to show up and do this today. There are some people that don't have that luxury. There are some people that didn't wake up this morning and don't have the ability to come in, and others don't have the mobility to be able to get in and do this. And I know myself, this was the first year that I did the workout as prescribed, and even by rep 80 of 1,000, I was thinking, like, I don't know if I can get through this. I might have to take this weight off. I'm struggling already, and I'm not even 100 reps in. And there was another gentleman who I have so much respect for. I love him as a friend dearly. Used to be one of our coaches, and he was working out with me at the same time. And somebody else asked him, like, hey man, why are you doing this with the weight? Because he himself got his little, backpack, and he was carrying additional weight to get to the 45 pounds. And he said, there's going to come a day when I can't do this, but today I can. And today I'm going to do it. And it took him, I think, maybe about an hour and a half to get through it. And he had, his camera going, and he was shooting content while he was doing it, and big old smile on his face. Said hi to Alan on FaceTime call at one point.
Hey
But
Sam, how you doing?
it was so inspiring
Yeah.
to be surrounded by people of all ages, all abilities. We have another member who has cerebral palsy, and she comes in and she does this workout with us at the level that she can. And so we have, documented for her every year what the height of her step ups are. We put her by the rig so she can hang on and doesn't have to, balance on her own going up and down so many times. But for the last 3 years, she has done this, and every year she adds 100 extra steps for hers. And this year she finished faster than last year. And she did 100 more reps than she did last year. And it's a testament to the fact that she added an extra day of training. She's been really consistently working on a lot more core strength and fueling her body correctly. The number of conversations that we have had with this young lady about how much water she has consumed, is she getting her electrolytes in, and how much protein is she eating, and making sure that she's fueling before she works out and after, has made such a tremendous difference. And it's so cool to watch their progression
Yeah.
and be in that space. But she had to know her why.
Yeah.
Why do I do this? Why do I show up? Sam had to know his why, because someday I'm not going to be able to do this, but today I can't. I had to know my why, because on rep 80, I wasn't sure if I was going to get there. And as I started my final 100, I was actually crying because I was so exhausted and tired, and I wasn't in a good headspace. And the community rallied behind me to help get me through that last 100, which was really heartwarming.
And Katie wept.
Every time. So
No,
emotional.
no, I think what you're saying is so important. There's a lot of people who come to, this nutrition course or come to the gym with this idea of, I want to look better, I want to lose a few pounds. And the more you start peeling back the layer, you start having conversations with people who've made this a lifestyle, you start to realize like the reasons go way deeper than that. Like way deeper than, I want to look better may get you in the door, but I want to do this until I can't do it. It'll make you stay and keep showing up. And, Katie and I are talking about fitness right now, but this applies to nutrition because we think nutrition is the most important thing. You got to get that right first. So taking a pause in those moments where you got to make a decision, faced with a decision and a choice, and you go over your reasons. And this is true when you're doing fitness, and this is especially true when you're doing nutrition. You got to have the reasons already. Like you got to have the reasons listed already. It's very difficult to say, "Oh, forget it," when faced with a decision and you don't have your reason. You got to come up with them in the middle of the workout, or you got to come up with them standing at the refrigerator, and that'll lead to bad outcomes according to your future self. It's things that aren't in line with what you're trying to accomplish. So, building a reasons list. So if you don't have one, start writing, and it's pretty simple. These are the reasons why I'm doing this. And you can start superficial. You can start with the exterior. You can start with I want to fit better in my jeans. But hopefully you end up in a place where it's more meaningful. That you're doing it for reasons other than yourself. That maybe you're doing it for somebody. So you can be there when she needs you, or you don't want to be a burden on your family, or you want to climb those steps with her. Some of the reasons on my list.
So good.
Have your reasons evolved over time, or are they does your list stay pretty much the same?
Oh, they've definitely evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the core reasons are very much still there. I want to live a very full, long life. I want to be able to experience as many new places and corners of the world. That hasn't changed. But who I want to be able to do them with, and how much I want to be present in my relationships, and the non-physical whys have definitely changed. As I've changed jobs, careers, my why has shifted. It used to be very much of like, I really want to climb a corporate ladder. I want to be, on an executive team in some major company, and, speaking on big conferences and whatever. I love our community. I love being in the fitness space instead of, necessarily tourism or hospitality and food. And, I'm kind of sort of connected to things. But as we grow as people, as our goals change and morph, some of those reasons will change and morph with us. But at its core, who I am and what my core values are, it's still the same.
Yeah, mine definitely evolved too. As we start to think about this new phase of our life where we travel more and we focus more on the things that we want to get done and things that we want to do because we've built this life. I think more and more about how I want to make sure that I'm in a position to take care of you if I need to, and that I'm not a burden on you. So that's new to the list.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's new to the list. So yeah, I guess mine evolves as well.
I think as anybody gets
Older.
into it, yeah, it gets into a different season of their life.
Yeah.
There are things that weren't relevant to us when we were in our 20s that are very much more relevant as we're approaching 50, right?
Move well
Yeah.
and leave a good-looking corpse. It's back from the army days. So let's talk about fueling your body, trying to figure out a rhythm or a system for your week. And it's interesting because ours is talking about evolution. We've sort of evolved on this recently. And I think both of us, so Katie and I fuel our bodies in different ways. So I could eat the same thing for every meal pretty much every day. So I eat the same breakfast every day. I eat the same lunch every day. Depending on what's on sale at Aldi, it depends on the snacks that I have. But you're talking about 2 cups of strawberries, a banana, a couple protein bars, and a protein shake is my mixture of snacks. It's very specific, I know. That's my mixture of snacks for the day to fuel my body the way I want. And then it's a grab bag of whatever Katie's food prepped or for dinner. And that's sort of my rhythm of my week. And it's really easy for me to keep track of my caloric intake because it's essentially the same, with the only variable really being if they provide lunch at work or what I'm having for dinner and being mindful of dinner. So pretty easy for me. And you take a completely different rhythm structure to your meals.
Yeah, I like to eat different foods all the time.
Every day.
So I have
every meal.
I have a lot of choices, but
So stressful.
I eat a bunch of dairy. I get a ton of my protein from dairy.
And I don't get any of mine.
Alan doesn't like, but you eat all sorts of protein bars.
No, I'm saying, but I don't get any of my protein from dairy.
I know. You eat all sorts of protein bars.
Yes.
So you choose a bar form, and I try to choose something that's a little bit more whole food.
Yes.
Cottage cheese,
Yes.
string cheese. I do a lot of turkey sausage sticks,
Yes.
and I love a good dip with some type of chip or pretzel. And so for me, I mix plain non-fat Greek yogurt with hummus. I mix plain non-fat Greek yogurt with salsa. I mix plain non-fat Greek yogurt with cottage cheese. I mix it with, so this is such a versatile way to boost my macronutrient intake and get me more access to protein, a few more carbs. I typically, from a plain yogurt standpoint, will buy fat-free vanilla yogurt. Sometimes I buy a little low fat, but either way, I want to have a variety. My taste buds need a variety, and it is so bad that if I eat the same thing for too many days in a row, I will actually start choking as I'm trying to chew it. There's a reaction in my body that is rejecting the food, and then there's been not on a lot of occasions, but there have been times where I cannot actually get it to swallow, and then I just have to stop eating it. And if that's the only thing that's left in the house, then I'm just going to go hungry because I don't like I can't finish the chicken and rice and vegetables because I've had it too many times. So knowing that that's my
mental
my
barrier.
challenge that I
It's all
have,
mental.
I will have a ton of variety, and so that means Alan gets choices, and if I have 4 entrees prepped and available in the refrigerator, it's like, well, what do you want for dinner? Well, we have turkey meatloaf, we've got chicken and rice, we've got stir fry with some sauteed vegetables, or we have like a shrimp gumbo, right? Like pick whichever one you want. I usually have lunch meat and sandwich ingredients in the refrigerator. I love to have like a good hearty salad with some, healthy protein on it. I'll do shredded cheese. I add Greek yogurt to whatever salad dressing I'm putting on there, or hummus. So like I've got salad ingredients, so I can make a really big salad. My balanced meals will have all sorts of ingredients, and they'll most of the time be colorful. I think my least colorful meal is when I make mashed cauliflower and rice as 2 of the side dishes. Those plates don't look terribly spectacular. They don't look terribly spectacular.
So from a system standpoint, from a rhythm standpoint, that's how you go about your business, and it works for you. You like to prepare meals and eat the variety and do the thing. And although not for everyone, my rhythm is same thing for breakfast, same thing for lunch, and throw one of the 4 options on a bed of rice, and we're cooking. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
So you got to find something that works for you.
Yes.
Your works for your taste buds, works for your lifestyle.
Now, if Alan was responsible for doing our meal prep, I'd be choking on my food because I don't think that he would
That's why
I don't think he would take the time to
No, I would take the time that would work for me.
That many different courses.
You don't have to talk about my style making you choke to death, but that's fine. All right. Where were we? Oh, so we've added a new wrinkle to our meal fueling rhythm and structure, our meal system. And that's Fit Life Foods on the weekend. Mm-hmm. So we used to go out, I think starting like Saturday. We would eat out Saturday, Saturday lunch, mm-hmm. Saturday dinner, Sunday lunch sometimes, and then maybe Sunday evening would be like empty out whatever in the kitchen or whatever the case may be. And now we, discovered Fit Life Foods meal prep service during our kitchen remodel, which was a phenomenal experience. The remodel was phenomenal, but the food that they provided was phenomenal because we couldn't cook anything in the house really. So we're fans now, and now instead of eating out Saturday lunch and dinner and Sunday lunch, now we buy a couple of meals. We make it as a kind of a thing for us to go over on a Saturday, an event for us to go over Saturday late morning, pick out our meals for the weekend, and it's budget friendly as compared to going out and paying tips and paying the overhead and doing all that. And it is calorie friendly in the sense that, or macro friendly in the sense that we know the macros, and it's relatively easy to track those macros to make sure we're fueling our bodies with the macronutrients that we need. And it tastes good. And it gives us a chance to nibble on some foods that we otherwise wouldn't have. My hibachi steak bowl comes to mind.
He loves him some hibachi steak bowl. It's got big old noodles in it, tons of vegetables. I really do love the vegetables, and we don't cook red meat at our house. I don't prepare it ever.
The alternative is we go to Japanese steakhouse for $100.
Yeah,
so I can get my fix. But so it's a great trade off, and it fits into our lifestyle. So once you establish a rhythm to your eating and your fueling process, fueling your body, you can always tweak and add and change when the opportunity presents itself. And you should always be looking for opportunities, because this was a good one that, of course, Katie found. I'll give her all the credit for that. And yeah.
They got good people over there. We've partnered with them for some events and helped each other out. It's good.
So if you could take one thing from today, or if you could recommend to listeners who've made it this far, to take one thing away from what we've talked about, what would that be?
Can I have two things?
Sure. It's your podcast. You do whatever you want.
Great. So the two major points that we touched on today was the pause. But the pause doesn't work if you don't know your whys. So you have to be able to do them together.
All right. I like it. Yeah, that's true.
And that's something you can start today in case you're listening to this and you're about to go reach for, I don't know, some food that maybe future you would be like, is this habit? Am I trying to, soothe my emotions? Is this boredom? Right? So what are your whys? And then remind yourself of those when you take your 3-minute pause.
I like it. That's brilliant.
And also, make sure that you're following us. Make sure that you are with us at Cheese, Curds, and Coffee on Instagram. We are on YouTube under Mousetrap Fitness. You can catch our podcast episodes that are recorded under there. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you get notified anytime we have new content coming. And drop us some comments. Send us some feedback. And finally, if you are intrigued, we've touched on the Success Framework Nutrition Edition course several times. We talk about it over the last few episodes, and we've definitely done a deeper dive today than we've done in some of our previous episodes about what type of content you get. If you are interested and you think, I want to maybe sign up for this, drop us a note and we will get in touch with you so that we can get you registration information. We are still running our beta pricing that will only be available for a limited period of time, and there's a set number of those that are going to be open to the public to get that reduced price. So if you are curious and you want to play with the online course, we would love to have you and look forward to working with you. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Take care.